So Draymond got his extension. He's going to be on the Warriors for quite a while now, into the mid-2020s, and this team is basically locked into Steph, Clay, D'Lo, Draymond, and Kevon Looney, and maybe a rookie or two ends up being pretty good. So it's not like they have too many ways of getting better moving forward here. Between picks they owe to the Nets and the Grizzlies and whatever else, they're mainly reduced to the draft picks they still have, which are some, to be fair, hoping some of their rookies or just free agent swings end up being something, mid-level exceptions, biannual exceptions, whatever wording you want to use, a Willie Cauley-Stein type of signing. That's what this team's going to be relying on to improve moving forward, and banking on D'Lo being pretty damn good. Now, mainly want to talk about Draymond, though, for this. I think this is a bargain for him. Number one, he probably would have gotten more on the open market. Number two, with the fact that the cap is going to keep going up, it does seem pretty wild that Draymond's never going to hit $30 million in a season. You look at next season, he's going to be making $22 million. And assuming that Draymond can still be Defensive Player of the Year candidate and a guy who, for a playoff series, can have some not random, but he can have games of 13 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds, and defend all 5 positions. That does seem like a bargain. Now, is there some fear with Draymond and his aging process? Potentially. I mean, we saw him be overweight for more of this regular season than he was not, I guess. Now, of course, he famously lost 20 pounds after his birthday or whatever, and he looked a few years younger in the postseason. So we're hoping that is going to be the norm for him. I'm not expecting Draymond to be the all-world defensive player for entire regular seasons anymore, because it just doesn't seem like he's wired that way with keeping his diet in check and all that stuff. But assuming he can still be pretty decent, and by his standards, pretty decent is still well above average, then that can lead to the Warriors still winning a solid amount of games in the regular season. Then he can ramp it up in the last 25 games or so and then get ready for the postseason. Now, you could argue with Clay's injury, KD not being there, teams in the Western Conference getting better, that even that is not going to be good enough. But I don't know. I mean, I think Draymond has lost the right for us to believe that he's just going to be in amazing shape at the start of a year and at the end of a year, but we can just hope that he figures it out by the time that he really needs to. Now, in terms of on offense, a lot of his value comes from setting screens, playing hard, and being a really good passer, right? Now, all that's cool, but teams have been leaving him open even when he was making his threes. Is there a chance that Draymond could become so bad from three-point range that it kind of stops all the other things he does, on top of the fact that, again, teams in the West better lost KD? I could see it. Now, I do think the Warriors' offense is so creative with the movement and, of course, the spacing that Clay and Steph and D'Lo are going to make, that Draymond's value offensively is always going to be there, but I could see us getting to a point, probably not this upcoming season and maybe not even the year after that, but at some point during this contract where it's like, wait a minute, can the Warriors actually not play Draymond right now? Because let's say he loses half a step in terms of those plays where he alley-oops it up to the center, or they trap Steph and then Draymond's got kind of a free lane to the rim. What if he's a little slower on all those things and his jumper keeps on being what it is? That could be scary, but we don't really know. That's just me projecting. I could be wrong on that. For all I know, Draymond's going to be looking way more athletic than I would think 4 years from now, and there's a chance he could figure out the jump shot somewhat. You don't know. And another thing I don't know is, like, what the hell the league is going to look like moving forward, because it seems like there's a chance the teams could go big, and not that I don't think Draymond, near 30 years old, cannot deal with that, but it'll just be interesting to see. I mean, you look at, like, the Lakers between Anthony Davis, JaVale, and Boogie. They got a decent amount of big dudes. They could go with AD at center. They could go with two bigs. The Blazers, it seems like they're going to go Zach Collins and Whiteside. You know, is 29-year-old Draymond, or not even right now Draymond, but like 2 or 3 years from now, Draymond, is he going to be able to deal with that? I think the Kings are kind of hoping for some like Bagley, Harry Giles, or I don't know. Bagley is such an X factor for them. He could be a 4, could be a 5. I mean, Porzingis could be a 4, could be a 5. The Jazz, on the other hand, are choosing to go with kind of a smaller thing at their power forward spot. So I do think there's a bit of a shuffling where I think teams are getting a little more okay with being big and thinking that that could be a way to go at Golden State because, you know, between KD being gone and, again, Draymond getting older, of course, that's all going to be interesting. Another one's like Jokic. I mean, can you play Draymond at center versus Jokic? Moving forward, don't really know. Don't have a real opinion, but I think it'll be something we got to find out. And all these things are going to determine Draymond's value, because part of the thing that is so great about him is that he's just a matchup nightmare, right? Now, I think another factor with this is if Golden State's going to be able to find another, I guess the equivalent would be Iguodala, basically, because what would the death lineup be right now? It'd be Steph, Clay, D'Lo, Draymond, and then you don't know. So if they can find that other dude and they can feel comfortable putting Draymond at center, then it's possible they'll still murder teams with their athleticism and spacing and defensive versatility and stuff, but don't really know. But as far as this move itself is concerned, I feel good about it. It's a bargain for Draymond Green, and that's it's a good thing.